Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Island. In this video, we will see how Spark optimizes joins at the runtime with the 3.2 release. We have already made some videos on Spark. If you have not looked into those videos, please subscribe to our channel and watch those videos. We also have videos on Spark tips and many more optimizations which we can do to optimize big data workloads. So please subscribe to our channel. Let me jump into the video. So as part of 3x version, different new features are added. Some are on performance. In the performance, you could see adaptive query execution, dynamic partition pruning are the major things. We have already covered some videos on adaptive query execution and dynamic partition pruning. And there are some new features on API level and extensibility and ecosystem. Also, there are new features. And at the monitoring level also, even the Spark structured streaming UI has been enhanced, so which will give good features to the people who are using it. And SQL compatibility, in that also there are some new features, and data source levels also there are new features. So we had a plan of covering most of the features, so please stay tuned to our videos. So coming to the main concept here, adaptive execution. So Spark creates a physical plan and a logical plan. So in 2x version of Spark, it collects the statistics and executes a physical plan based on the statistics, but it will not have the capability to execute, collect the statistics at the runtime and re-optimize the physical plan. But in 3x version, the new capability which is added is like at the runtime, Spark can collect the statistics and re-optimize the plan further. So at a high level, at a runtime, it is optimizing the plan. It is creating the new plan, which is the enhanced version of the previous plan. So that is the beauty of Spark 3.0 adaptive query execution. So coming to this picture, so it creates query stages. Each query stage is executed from the leaf node. So when there is no dependency, it executes from the leaf node. So let's say if it executes a leaf node, start executing a leaf node, it runs some kind of optimizers, which are rule optimizers. The optimizers are like whether there is a skew is there, or whether is there any coalescing of shuffle partitions required, if there is any reuse of subqueries required. These kind of multiple physical rules it will run, optimizer rules it will run. If based on those rules, it will create a new plan. If the new plan created at runtime is better than the previous plan, it tries to switch the plan to the new plan. So at every stage, it will try to re-optimize the plan and run the further stages. So this is a loop which happens. Each query stage, it runs some physical rules and checks for opportunity of re-optimizing the physical plan. If the physical plan can be re-optimized, it runs the further stages with the new plan. So when there is no stages to run, it exits. So this is at a high level how Spark changes the physical plan at the runtime. I'll showcase this more in the demo in the further slides. So coming to dynamically choosing join strategy, I'll explain this concept with this diagram of Databricks. So let's say in this example there are two tables, table A, which is left side, which is stage 1, and table B, which is at the right side, which is stage 2. If you see, table A is fine. If you see table 2, stage 2, the estimated size of this table is 25 MB. Right? After filtering, the actual size of the table is 8 MB. So this filter, after filtering, the actual size of the table is 8 MB. So this 8 MB is the optimal data size for broadcasting the table. But because Spark doesn't have any clue on the statistics at the runtime, it goes with the default join called sort merge join. That is the reason there is no broadcasting happening here. It goes with the default join, which is sort merge join. This is the case with the old versions, but what happens with the new versions is like this time in the new version 3.x version of Spark, it collects the statistics at the runtime, because now the actual size is 8 MB, which is under the broadcast threshold. In the later stages, when it has to execute later stages of those job, it try to re-optimize the join and it creates a broadcast hash join instead of sort merge join. So the same join which is on the two stages gets converted to broadcast hash join, and the further stages on this job will be executed using broadcast hash join. It will not execute sort merge join. So this is the beauty at the runtime. With the statistics, it is able to change the join strategy from one join to other join, the second join which is more optimal. So this is at the high level I wanted to explain based on the statistics how Spark chooses a right join at the runtime. So let's jump into the demo. So before we go into the demo, I wanted to explain the data sets which we will be using as part of this demo. So there are two tables which we will be using. One table is item and the second table is sales. In this item table, you could see there are two columns. One is item ID column and other is item price column. Item ID column is a random number which is in the range of 30 million. You could see the ID column is in the range of 30 million. So item price is a random number from 0 to 1000. So you could see at a high level, you could see the values of this column are in the range of 0 to 1000. That's about this item dataset which has two columns. Coming to the sales dataset, there are three columns in the sales dataset. Item ID, which is the column which we use to join with the left table, and quantity, the quantity of that particular item, and the date of that purchase, date of sale of that item. So in the first column, the values are in the range of 30 million, if you see, and there is a skew in this data set. Lot of values are generated in the range with the value of 100. So this ID column will have lot of values with the 100, and it is a range of 30 million. Coming to the second column, which is quantity. Quantity is a random number which is generated from 0 to 100. That's about the second column. The third column is a date, which we are generating a random number from 0 to 360 days, subtracting our current date. So that's about our data set. We join item ID from left side to the item ID in the right side. So let me jump into the actual demo. Hi everyone, welcome back to the demo. So this demo I'll explain how Spark changes sort merge join to broadcast hash join. So before I detailedly explain what is happening under the hood, I wanted to let you know one thing. So this project link I've given in the video description. You can click on the link and navigate to GitHub and download the project and import into your IDEs to run yourself and check how the code is working. So that is the info which I want to pass. So having said that, let me deep dive into the code and explain what is happening in this code. So I have a class here called dynamic join strategy, and I have defined Spark configuration. Because I'm running this in local, my master is local here, and I have set my app name as dynamic join strategy, and I've created a Spark session here. To this Spark session, I have enabled a few properties like adaptive enabled. This is the main property to actually enable adaptive execution in Spark 3.0. Apart from this, I have included one property for auto broadcast join, setting a limit to 10 MB, which is the default limit, and one more property to enable log level to trace. So without this key property, adaptive enabled, we cannot see adaptive Spark execution happening. So this is the main key property which we need to enable. So that point I wanted to make it here. Okay, so let me deep dive into the code now. So this is the data frame 1. This is the table which I showed in the theory PDF. So this is the items table, and the item table has two columns, item ID and item price, and I've created a temporary view and named as items. And coming to the next table, my next table is sales. This sales table has 3 columns, as I mentioned: item ID, quantity, and the sales date, right? So these are the 2 data frames. Now the next operation, what I was trying to do is, I'm trying to create a join here. In this statement, I'm trying to join sales table with items table on the join key, item ID on the both sides. So with this key, I'm trying to join sales data frame, sales table with items table, and grouping by sales date. And one more key condition I'm applying here is like price less than 10, right? This is the main key filter which will enable to push sort merge join to broadcast as join at the runtime. Okay, so let me proceed to the next step. So the next step I wanted to showcase here is like the data frame which I created, join data frame. I'm calling query execution and executed plan. This will return a query, my physical plan, Spark physical plan, before executing the join. So when I run this, we could see the physical plan will have sort merge join. It will not have any broadcast as join, because at the runtime it doesn't have any statistics to change the physical plan. And later when I run the data frame, when I do a collect operation, this is the result. After that, if I execute plan on the same data frame, join data frame, now this gets changed to changed to broadcast join. There's a typo here, I'll change here, plan after execution. So this plan gets changed to broadcast as join. So let me run and show how it works, then you people will get some better idea. So to run this, I'll run this in a debug mode. For that, I have enabled some debug breakpoints. We could see there are a couple of breakpoints which I have enabled. So let me go ahead and run it in the debug mode. Right click, debug. This will run the program in debug mode. We could see program is getting executed. Right, so it started executing. It started executing. Okay, so my program is here now. Let me run and let me click here and run this step. So now this plan statement got executed to the data frame, join data frame, and if I call query execution, executed plan, there is something like this is popping up now. For this statement, you could see some adaptive plan, Spark adaptive plan is final is false. So it means like this is not the final plan. Still Spark did not derive the final plan till now. So I'll copy this statement to an editor to get a better understanding, so that I can show what is happening under the hood. Let me copy to text editor. So I copied the plan, the physical plan here into the Sublime editor. You could see the upper tag is saying is final plan is false, because I did not execute the join till now, and Spark did not even derive the last physical plan. So let me, as I said, query stages are executed from bottom down approach. Let me go from the bottom and showcase what is happening under the hood. So this is the first data frame, and if you could see, this data frame has 2 columns. If you see in the project, item ID, and the second column is item price, and there's a exchange partitioning here, and there's a sort here on the column item ID. This is the join column which I'm using. So next project, if you see, there are 3 columns here. One column is S item ID, and the second column is sales quantity, and the third column is sales date. This is sales date. So this is the second data frame which I showed, and after that you could see even for the second column, second table ID column, there is some sort is happening here, right? It means like in both key columns which I'm using for joining, there is a sort happening. Ultimately, this answers a question like this is going to try a sort merge join here. So Spark will be executing a sort merge join here. That is the reason it is joining. It is sorting both the keys of join table. So ultimately, the point which I wanted to make it here is like Spark is executing sort merge join under the hood until the final plan is derived. So this is what I wanted to explain. Now let me go ahead and run next step. So now we have seen what is the output from plan before, right? The first initial plan. Now let me run the next step from IntelliJ IDE. So this step got executed. This statement is nothing but I wanted to see at the top tag what is the join happening. So from the top tag it is sort merge join. So that is why the sort merge join size is 1. So it's just a statement to print the top tag what type of join it is. So because my plan before has sort merge join, this is returning sort merge join as count 1. So this has nothing to do with our demo here. Just wanted to showcase that the count got increased because of the sort merge join. So next step is actual executing the data frame, the join which I've showed in the above thing. So let me go ahead and run this. If I click here, this will actually run that join. So this might take some time. Once it is completed, I'll show what is the physical plan after executing the join. That will be a bit interesting. Now the join is completed. We could see after collect there is some output I could see because it executed this collect and there are some results out of it, right? So my program is here now. Let me run and check what is the plan for the data frame now after executing collect. Now my expectation is sort merge join has to be tweaked to broadcast hash join based on the runtime statistics, right? I'll go ahead and run this command. Right, my command is executed. So if I hover mouse here, right, I could see plan here, right? So let me copy this pad to Sublime Editor to showcase. So this is the plan which I copied to Sublime Editor. So if you see the current tag here, it says final plan is true. So this is the plan after executing that join. So let me come from bottom down, right? Let me explain from bottom, right? So if you see, you could see something called broadcast exchange here, which is not there in the previous plan. Previous plan has a sort merge join, but now there is a broadcast join happening. So this has actually happened because of the runtime statistics which are available, and Spark optimized the physical plan. If you see, this is the previous physical plan where a sort is happening and it is performing a sort merge join. This is the new physical plan which Spark has derived at a later point of time based at the runtime, and this plan has broadcast join, interestingly, instead of sort merge join. So that's what I wanted to show, how Spark changes the physical plan before executing and at the time of executing based on runtime statistics and some kind of query rules which are applied, right? Hope this gave a better understanding and how Spark is changing the physical plan. So let me showcase few other interesting things as part of the demo. Okay, so now if you see, my next statement is getting an instance of adaptive plan. So let me run this. So after this, I wanted to show something here. So if I click on plan after, there are couple of interesting things here. So if you see after plan after, this is the latest plan. So this is what I've shown, because I can't hover here, so I copied it to Notepad and I have shown to you people. Now if I see other things, right, there is something called initial plan, and initial plan is a sort merge join, which I showcased sometime before. And now there are something called query stage optimizer rules. So I was talking about these rules in the previous theory part. If I click here, I said there are a couple of rules which are executed at the query stages, and based on that it re-optimizes the stage. So these are the optimizer rules. So the first one is reuse adaptive subquery. It means like it can use multiple subqueries. If multiple subqueries are there in the query, it will reuse the subquery multiple times. There is no requirement to draw multiple stages for multiple subqueries. It will reuse those. And collage shuffle partitions. This video I'm planning to make after this. So the next video will be basically on collaging shuffle partitions. If you see collaging shuffle partitions, it tries to collage the partitions. Like by default we have 200 as shuffle partitions. It tries to choose what is the right partitions based on this rule. And optimized skew joins. This is used to optimize if any skew is there in the join conditions. And there are other properties like local shuffle reader. This local shuffle reader is nothing but initially it is doing a sort merge join. It will do some kind of sorting, and it will have that shuffle at local disk. So that shuffle will be used further in the broadcast. It can broadcast to shuffle. So this is one, and there are a couple of other rules. So at a high level I want to showcase this. There are a couple of query optimizer rules which runs, and based on this it tries to re-optimize the plan. So you could see the tag is final plan is true. It means like this is the final plan. So these are some interesting features. So this is what I want to showcase in this video. I'll come up with more deeper insights on internals of Spark 3.0, how under the hood Catalyst optimizer is working, how physical plans are generated, logical plans are generated. I'll come up with more videos. So please subscribe to our channel to get more videos on this, which might help you to excel in Spark. Thanks everyone. Thanks for watching a video.